Hello, and welcome to Gen X Quench. Today, I want to talk about a topic that really has something to do with leaving a legacy. I want to talk about a scholarship I started, and the reason I started it. It's a family scholarship called the Stokes Family Scholarship. And if you like what you've heard today, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. But a few years ago, I decided to start a small scholarship for African American males in high school who will matriculate into Florida A&M University. And that is my graduate school as well as the college all of my family members attended. So why did I do it? There were four reasons primarily. I wanted to give back, to make a positive change in the lives of young African American males. There's a dearth of African American males going to college, so I wanted to support them by putting a small scholarship in place that would recognize their success in high school and hopefully catapult their future success once they embark upon their careers. Secondly, I wanted to honor my dad. He attended Florida A&M, and in his freshman year, he needed some money and called a relative of his. And the relative basically said, "Hey, don't call me back again asking for money." And that really drove my father in terms of his college success as well as his professional success. He became a computer programmer at IBM, had a successful, I think, 21, 23-year career, somewhere around there. Also owned his own contracting company, etc. But he always told me that story and said, "Hey, I did not want to ever have to depend on anyone else for money again." And so I wanted to support an African American male just like he was in his situation, where he just needed a small financial donation. So it's kind of a legacy to my father. Thirdly, like I said, all my family went there. My mom, dad met on the campus of Florida A&M. Consequently, got married. Had myself and my sister. My sister is a PharmD from Florida A&M. So I have my MBA from Florida A&M. So it's our family college. So I wanted to also recognize the legacy of Florida A&M and the great students that they put out. And then lastly, I wanted to encourage African American males who are pursuing STEM degrees. And for those of you who don't know, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And most of my family has gone into STEM majors. My dad was math, my sister pharmaceutical, which is the medical, as well as the science, and myself a finance MBA. And my wife was an engineer as well, but she did not go to Florida A&M, but she does have an engineering background. So I think we've got all the STEM covered within our family. Lastly, FAMU's motto is excellence with caring, and that's really what this scholarship is trying to do, is show, one, recognize academic excellence by a young Black man, and then show that, hey, a later generation cares about them and wants to see them succeed. I also want to give a special shout out to this year's Stokes Family Scholarship recipient. His name is Stefan Sanders, and he will be pursuing an MIS degree at Florida A&M this fall. So kudos to Stefan. And again, thanks for coming along with the ride. Next, I want to talk a little bit about how I funded the scholarship. Hello, and now it's time for the good stuff. So how did I fund my Stokes Family Scholarship? Well, when I first moved to Charlotte, I got active with the local Florida A&M alumni chapter here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And on one of the initial calls, the person who heads up the scholarship area asked if any new families wanted to donate money or create a family scholarship. And I thought about it. I had done it once in Tampa and decided to do it again once I got to Charlotte. So I volunteered and asked them what denomination, how small is too small. Because I'm thinking of starting small, doing a book scholarship to the tune of $500. The person who headed the scholarship committee said, "Hey, that's great. If you want to ramp it up over time, you can." So we started out with $500. And it's important to note our scholarship arm of the Charlotte Florida A&M Alumni Chapter is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And I did some research through the company that I work for to see if they would have any charitable dollars either done for community service or in terms of matching dollars, or would they give to charities of my asking. And so I reached out, or actually researched online, and there's a community care portal. And I did read that they have a community care grant that matches either in dollars that you give to charities or time. If you do community service, you get matching dollars. So with a $500 donation, I read that if I go onto the portal and pay via credit card, they will match dollar for dollar up to $2,000. So for my initial year, I put in $500, and then they matched it $500. Now, it's important to note that I did research which charities were eligible, and I did see that the Charlotte Rattlers, the local Florida A&M alumni chapter, was under their approved organizations to give to. So to make sure that my $500 would be matched, I got the $500, and then additionally, the first year that I did it, I did 16 hours of community service, which also gave me an additional $150. So for $500 investment, I got $150 plus another $500. So that helped fund the next year's scholarship plus a little bit more money. And then the other neat thing that the local Charlotte Rattlers did was partner with the Premier Foundation, which is another local 501c3 who was also giving out scholarships to high school students. And through our partnership, we can do more together. There's obviously strength in numbers, but they helped add to the scholarship that I gave. So for $500, I think they matched another $1,600. So was able to give $2,100. So that was awesome. And both representatives from the Premier Foundation as well as Florida A&M were at the ceremony the past few years. So it's been a great partnership. But those are some ways that you too can fund scholarships in your family name. So just wanted to share that information because it's really about giving back, giving to kids, lifting as we climb, helping others who may not be as fortunate. So that's all I've got today, but really enjoyed sharing this story, and hopefully you all get some inspiration from it. Have a great day.